to Sana Sana Colita de Rana episode 5. Okay, we have a very, very important topic today, and it's detachment. Why? Because we all deal with situations, specifically dealing with detaching your emotions, detaching yourself from some sort of situation, or detaching yourself from some sort of outcome, right? Overall, I'm going to give you steps and we're going to teach you guys how to specifically do that. So once you do, you feel more free, you feel more powerful, you feel 10 times better.
I'm gonna detach myself from the situation because you forgot to let me introduce myself.
Do now.
But yeah, we'll edit it. But yeah, my name is Juan. Welcome to episode 5 of Sana Sana Colita de Rana. I'm also gonna detach my phone screen from this phone because it's turned off on me 3 times in the last minute. But like Noah said, I'm also gonna be in the same process as you guys. He's gonna teach. He's gonna give you a step by step, and we're gonna be here for the ride. Um, I think honestly, detachment is probably one of the strongest and most important things one can do. Not just because of what it could do for you, but how it helps us grow as people. Um, I think I'm in the situation where I'm detaching myself right now. I feel like I'm in the moment.
I feel like, and I think I'm sorry, like I'm gonna talk to you like I'm a fucking therapist.
That's what it is. That's what
I
it is.
feel like you're only 25%. I don't think you have fully done it.
What do you mean? Like my
Right.
personal self?
Personal
That's
self, I think
from
you're just 25% detached from it. Right. Um, so let me tell you guys a situation that I was on. Right. Um, and this is very much so of you could be expecting a specific behavior from specific people, right? It could be anybody. It could be your mom. It could be your friend. It could be a specific person specifically, right? But you're expecting something that you could even be creating in your mind within yourself, right? And that's when you create some sort of outcome or some sort of expectation dealing with that specific situation, right? Let's start super, super simple. You first have to realize how you are feeling in the situation. Do you feel bad or do you feel good? Because why in the world would you like to detach from something that makes you feel good? I feel like it would only be if you're scared, you know?
I think adding on to that, it can kind of go 2 ways. Is do you like the way it feels? What there's a saying, as far as like people, do you like the person or do you like the thought of the person? Um,
A lot of people like the thought.
that's that. Yeah, honestly, man, I think we've all been in that situation where do we, love is a big word, but do we really love the person or do we love the thought of the person and what they could become?
Or the image that you're creating of them.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. That,
The image that you're creating of them. Um, how do I specifically put this into situation? If it makes you feel bad, walk away from it. Because why in the world will you put yourself in a situation that makes you feel like total crap? Right? Um, One thing that I do want to make it known is that detachment does not come easily. Detachment takes months or even years depending on the situation. But once you realize that there's something out there that can make you feel better, that's when that detachment starts to happen, right? The way that I did my detachment, I specifically put it in my mind and I realized this situation is not making me feel good. This situation is not making me feel like I'm worth it, right? And that's how that started.
a little off, what we were talking about off camera. If you feel like you have to, if you're set, we were just talking about, if you're second guessing how the situation is making you feel or how you have to act on it, then it's probably not a good, you're probably not in a good situation. Um, and like Noah said, as far as detachment, it can honestly take a long time, and it's hard, man.
It definitely happens like that. But okay, so first step is realizing that that situation makes you feel good, right? Does that situation overall makes you feel good? Are you feeling great? Are you feeling good? Are you feel like it's worth it? No, not really, right? Second step, look, and this is exactly what I did. And I'm gonna give you guys a step how I did it.
Write that down. Write that down.
Yeah, write that down, right? I completely detached from the situation for a week or even two, right? And then once I had completely detached from it, I thought about it. I was all like, not even thought about it. I started to pinpoint every single thing that was making me feel bad. And it was multiple behaviors. It was multiple things that didn't make me feel as great, right? As simple as that. And when I sat by myself and started to acknowledge all that behavior, I realized that the behavior was mostly bad than good, right?
You know what's funny is that the hardest part of detachment, I want to say, is probably like probably the first few weeks, because we feel like we can't live without that certain someone. And after the first few weeks, at least for me, I feel like after the first week or two, it becomes a lot easier. And like you said, you kind of start pinpointing the things, and you're like, man, this person really wasn't all that wasn't all that I thought they were. They weren't reciprocating what I was giving them. And then you really start to think, you're like, damn, man, I was really, messed up, and I wasn't respecting myself enough to detach myself from them, knowing that they weren't bringing any good to my life. They were bringing more bad than good. And really, you were the one that was keeping everything afloat and trying to fix everything. And they're just kind of there along for the ride.
He said it 10 times. He said it 10 times better. As simple as that. One thing that I do want to put into perspective, is as simple as this. Pretty much is the image that you could be building of them inside your head. There's nothing better. One thing that I can say is that me, as a person, I would give the other person my best face. I would treat that other person as I treat everyone else. And I know for a fact my behavior is going to be remembered. I know for a fact what I do for the other person is going to be remembered. You know why? Specifically because I do that for every single person. I give them my best face. No matter what, I will try to show them the best version of me. Right? Now, if they lose that, they completely lose that. You're not going to disrespect me and expect me to stay. Why? Because I know for a fact some of you guys or some of you people out there, and I'm so sorry if this sounds harsh, but it's going to sound harsh. Some of you guys will take disrespect over and over and over and over again. Why? Because you think things are going to get better. If things did not get better 1, 2, 3, the third time, what makes you think they're going to get better 6, 7, 8, 9? They're not. And some of you guys like to be disrespected. Sorry, as simple as that.
Kink, man, what did they have a kink for being disrespected, dog? You gonna shame them for having kinks?
I don't think that's a kink, because why in the world would somebody feel turned on over the fact that somebody's cheating?
Brother, dog, you haven't seen people that are like, hey, they like the dominatrix type of thing. That's a disrespect. It might not be it's a physical disrespect. It's not really more of like an emotional disrespect. What dominatrix threw me off?
No, bro, you're the kinky one. You're the freaking one.
Nah, man, that's weird. I'd never do that.
But no, that's the thing. And I've seen multiple cases where someone is always going to end up getting disrespected and they're always going to choose to stay. Me personally, I can't grasp the fact of like, why would you stay? And I'm not talking about feeling like you're chasing somebody else, because that's a form of disrespect as well. You're never supposed to feel like you're chasing somebody. And trust when I say there's people out there that enjoy having the feeling of being chased. But why? The reason being is because they want to feel validated by someone's behavior.
There's so many people that it's more of like that boosts their self-esteem. They love being validated, and I'm always gonna bring it back to social media, bro, and it's always social media. It's always the fake validations from social media. And adding on to what you were saying, you should never feel like you have to beg for someone's attention, or you basically have to, you tienes que regarle.
And some of you guys will do that.
Yeah, and,
Some of so
and subconsciously you'll do it because you feel like, oh, if I keep trying and if I keep trying and if I keep trying, maybe they'll eventually change the way they feel towards me, and maybe they'll reciprocate that later on. But a lot of the times, man, if it takes you, if they don't do it the first, the second, the first or second time, after that, if they don't do it, then chances are they're not gonna reciprocate it later on. And it's better to try and read that on early on in the relationship or whatever it is, um, instead of trying to drag it on and hope, that in time things will change.
and in so many cases, like I'm telling you guys, some of you guys love to get disrespected. I'm gonna say it like it is, because there's no reason for some of you guys to be accepting some sort of behavior. This does not make you feel good. Does not make you feel great. Okay? And I get it. And look, shout out to my sister. The people that you guys, most of you guys most likely will know my sister, because when I'm on TikTok live or on my, doing my own thing on tarot, you guys talk about her and you're like, oh, she's so pretty. There was one time when I was talking to my sister about a certain situation, and she was all like, stop talking to me. And I was like, why? She was all like, because you're the one that's putting yourself in that situation. What's making you be in that situation? You're expecting something else, or you're expecting something that you created in your mind, right? She was all like, you can talk to me about the situation again once you had completely let it go, right? And some of you guys try to find the more make meaningless excuses to be able to stay in a situation like that, right? And like I said, you disrespect me once, that's over. That's over. It's completely over, because there's no chance in the world. I was gonna say something else. There's no chance in the world where you're supposed to feel like you're working to build something. Everything is supposed to come in 50-50. If it does not show up in 50-50, what do you want me to tell you? What do you want me to tell you? Nothing is going to work out. Nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to happen because the other person likes the feeling of being chased. The other person likes the feeling of being built by somebody else, and their emotions that you are sacrificing, the feelings that you are creating, the feelings that you are putting into that are drying you up and are making another person feel 10 times better. As simple as that. Okay? And that's one thing that I do want to tell you guys. When do you know you're being disrespected? When do you know you are giving yourself too much? Imagine this. Imagine yourself having a pot of water. Imagine yourself having a pot of water, and then all of a sudden, you start pouring and pouring and pouring, and the flower starts to grow. But then you're starting to feel so drained about the situation, or you're starting to feel so bad. Why? Specifically, why? Because you're feeding your energy into someone that's not supposed to have your energy. Okay? So when are you going to detach?
I think it's a beautiful thing whenever two people can come to terms and things are 50-50, man. I think it's especially nowadays with how the world is, it's so hard to find somebody genuine and somebody that will actually reciprocate the same energy that you guys are sharing. Um, and it also just feels natural, and like you were saying, it helps bring out the best, and it helps you or makes you feel better. And I think it's also such an important thing to do because I've seen a lot of people prosper once they have detached and they become the best versions of themselves, or in the process of becoming the best versions of themselves. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I feel like I did that, and I was kind of you know, it wasn't a person. I wasn't detaching myself from the person. I was detaching myself from situations that I was putting myself in. For example, going out to the clubs, going out to eat bad food. I was detaching myself from that, and it helped me see things more clearly. And I'm not a perfect person, and nobody ever will be, but I know I've become a whole lot better than I have. And it's also super important because I feel like once you start doing that, it also helps the people around you become better versions of themselves, man. And we all want, especially for our friend groups, our families, we all want everybody in that group to be the best versions of themselves. Um, and kind of going back on it a little bit.
Oh, guys, I don't think you guys realize that when you stop giving someone your energy, that's going to be felt. When you start to put energy back into yourself, like Juan said, you're going to start to grow in so many ways you couldn't even believe it, right? And that form of detachment is the form of detaching from a person or from a situation. But now I specifically want to talk to you guys about how to detach from a certain outcome. This is more of the entering the manifestation area, right? Manifestation area, detaching from an outcome, not being worried something is going to happen, not being worried something bad is going to end up happening. A few weeks ago, you guys know me as El Tero Vaquero on TikTok. I was so worried about my TikTok not doing well. I was stuck in 5,800 followers for about 3 weeks. And my videos were doing 2,000 views, 4,000 views. But I told myself, why am I so detached to that specific outcome? The past 2 weeks, I've detached every single video that I have posted, doing amazing, doing perfect, like doing numbers that are incredible. That's a big jump. But it's a big jump because I detach myself from that specific outcome. I detach myself from that specific worry. The energy of worrying is a humongous energy.
My dad's always told me, and especially now that I've gotten older and I've come to realize what he said. Because I used to work with him, and he used to tell me things, as a dad would give me, insight, because of his experience on life. And he told me this one thing, a super simple thing, that I didn't really pay no mind to until I started getting into situations that this came into effect. But he said, if there's things that you're worrying about and you have no control over, then just let it go. Just let it be. If you have no control over it, then regardless, it's gonna happen whether you like it or not. And stop stressing yourself, knowing that the outcome is gonna be whatever the outcome is. And then also, speaking on the manifestation and that thing. I think that also goes with it. It's not, because people think manifestation is just always a positive thing. Like, oh, I'm gonna get this new car. I'm gonna get this new house. It also goes the opposite way. If you keep thinking bad things are gonna happen to you, more than likely those things are gonna happen to you. For example, like, oh man, hopefully today, I'm having a bad day already, and I just feel like the rest of the day is gonna be bad. That's just gonna get stuck in your mind, and your mindset is gonna be bad day, bad day, bad day, bad day. And unintentionally, it's going to turn into a bad day just because that's what's programmed into your mind at the moment or in that day. So try to not think of everything, or try to not
worry about everything, pretty much.
Yeah, try to not worry about everything. And I don't want to get religious and I don't want to get political or anything, but like the saying, I'm sure you've heard it, just let go and let God.
I'm a proud father right now. I'm proud. You want to know why? Because I was talking to him about manifestation.
Yeah, he did.
Look at him. Look at him. Look at him now. A whole fucking intellect about manifestation. I'm proud of him.
Yeah.
I'm super proud of him.
Thank you. But yeah, it's just, just keeping it short, keeping it simple. Just let go. Let it happen. If it's going to happen, just, if you're going to be, okay.
Let it go and let it flow.
Let it go and let it flow. And if you know that because not everything is, flowers and pretty things. Some things are going to happen that are bad. The best thing that I could suggest is if you know it's going to end up bad and you have no control over it, maybe try to prepare yourself so whenever it does happen, you're somewhat already, you're one step ahead of whatever is going to happen. That way it doesn't just catch you off guard and you're like, oh damn.
one thing that I do enjoy about him bringing back this up, the way that I detached as well was this specific phrase. This specific phrase. The other's person actions are not supposed to be deciphered by me. The way that somebody acts is not supposed to be acknowledged by me or is supposed to be like deciphered by me, right? Because once you do that, you put yourself in a place of worry, right? But now manifestation is good for you. Manifestation is good for me. But I'm gonna be honest, I feel and I've always felt that manifestation works like this. The more you want something and then you receive it because you completely detach from it, it's you can do more. You can do more. You can do more. And you're fulfilling a void that you have yourself. You're feeling a desire that you are creating for more, 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 more. And that's where gratitude comes in. Being grateful, being thankful. Because hey, I'm grateful that we found this spot. Like I am amazed and thankful because I found this specific spot. I'm amazed that I have a fucking friend. Have a friend like Juan, right? I'm amazed that I have my friend like Rafael, the one that he's in the background, by the way. Multiple things. I've manifested my TikTok success, right? And that's what I'm telling you guys. It's about manifestation. Because I'm gonna say like it is. There's other TikTok readers out there that read cards so wonderful, wonderful, but they only have 300, 2,000 views, right? And I think I'm an all right reader. I think I read well, but I always put that intention of it's going to do good, it's going to do better, and no matter what, the video is not gonna do bad. So that's to say, manifestation could be scary in some cases, and you have to learn how to detach, right? Because detaching from an outcome is one of the best things you can do.
So, speaking on manifestation, to put it in a simpler terms, you better manifest more than the person next to you because their manifestation might be bad for you. Like there's a good and a bad, and you don't want to be like the story Noah just said. You don't want to be the person that got and they got the house. So in life, you want to be the person wanting the house. You don't want to be the person that lost the house.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So manifest harder.
Yeah, manifest harder. I don't, right?
A book, you were talking about books, and this is something I got to do myself too. Reading is, back on the detachment thing, reading is a good way to, detach yourself from something, keep your mind busy. Like I said, a busy mind is a happy mind. A book I feel like we all should read or should all have is the Book of Detachment, or was it The Law of Detachment? I believe is what the book is called. And I've been wanting to do that. And really, I've been wanting to get it. I've wanted to get into reading, and especially going. Since we're based in Houston, I've wanted to go to either Buffalo Bayou. What's another one? One over the downtown. What, Green something? Discovery Green, and I've wanted to start reading, but since it's hot, it's super hot here in Houston, and we're in November, and it's still like 80, 90 degrees outside, and it's raining. I haven't, but you guys should definitely try and get that book. It's called The Law of Detachment. I think reading a few pages every day, it's slowly gonna help. It's gonna help us. And it's a fun book to have.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like straight up, I'll be honest with you guys. Once you learn how to detach from every single situation, it becomes 10 times free. You become 10 times free. Like you become really free. You become like nothing makes you unstoppable. Why? Because most of it comes from expectations that you're setting up too high. Most of it are expectations that you're setting up to be a little bit too big, a little bit too, humongous, that are holding you down, that are making you feel worthless.
You know what's crazy about it is it might seem backwards, but the more you detach yourself from something or someone, the more things start coming your way. And it's such a weird way of life. Life has a bunch of twists and turns, and this is one of the biggest twists and turns. The more you detach, the more things you attract. I'm not saying if you detach yourself from, that one person that they're gonna come back because you.
Oh no, they are. They are. I'm being for real.
Don't feed into the.
No, I'm being for real. They are. Like they are. I promise you this when I say this.
Well, that's how it works.
Pull your energy back from a person,
and you're gonna see how
they're going to come back. As simple as that. Proof. I got proof of that. I got proof.
I'm in the process of doing that right now. We're gonna see how well that law of detachment works. But yeah, the detachment is one of the it's one of the strongest and best things you could do for yourself, not just physically but mentally and emotionally.
Because perdón, but it would make you feel 10 times better.
Yeah,
Te lo
because
prometo con mi corazón.
you feel like we end up having okay when we detach from things, things tend to get attracted to ourselves more. They tend to come back to us more, and
The reason being is because we are not in an energy of desperation.
yeah,
You're not in an energy of wanting it.
my eye burns. I was crying. So beautiful. um, nah, I
At this moment, Juan is honestly learning how to detach.
yeah, and it's honestly, okay. So I'm gonna get not personal, but I'm gonna get a little bit more into it. It's a little scary and it's a little lonely. I will give you that, and I will let you know that it's not gonna be something easy, and it's not gonna be something that you're gonna want to feel like doing every single day. Because detachment physically it's gonna make you feel like you have nobody. But we always have to see the light at the end of the tunnel, even though we know it's gonna come. We know the outcome, what the outcome is gonna be. And myself, I'm super impatient, and I've learned that with patience comes prosperity. And I'm just
It's not that you're not going to have nobody. You're finally actually going to have one you can fall back on, and that's yourself.
exactly, yeah. That's yeah, exactly. Because the only person, honestly, I the only person you could really, you might have really good friends, you might have, your best friends, but at the end of the day, man, you're gonna go to bed alone, you're gonna sleep alone, and you're gonna be on your own, mentally, physically, and emotionally. So you might as well try to make yourself the strongest version that you can. That way, it's
And the person you're always going to be able to count on is yourself.
yeah, yeah, really.
It's harsh, but some of you guys don't like being lonely. And when you're lonely, it's one of the best things you can build for yourself. The hermit. The hermit in tarot talks about being alone, but you build some sort of fortitude or some sort of armor that makes you indestructible. Because you start to build so much confidence because you don't need somebody. You don't need to have somebody. And it's amazing. I was gonna say a bad word, but it's amazing because I've done that myself.
It does feel good knowing you don't have to depend on anybody else, and your happiness, your genuine happiness, comes from within, and it doesn't come from from a different source, from a person.
So guys, my best advice for you is to learn how to detach. And the first step you gotta take is pull yourself from away from a situation that makes you feel bad. That does not make you feel great. Be alone for 1 to 2 weeks and start to acknowledge how they made you feel, the behavior they had. And once you do, it's going to become 10 times easier to completely walk away and never look back. Because if you look back, you're missing something that didn't make you feel good.
And when he says by being alone, he doesn't mean physically be alone and just cut everybody off. No, when we mean be alone, it means do things that are healthy for your mind, healthy for your body, healthy for you in general. As far as eating better, stop eating so much McDonald's, Burger King, Chick-fil-A, everything. We're all guilty of that. Apart from it being unhealthy, it's also unhealthy for your wallet. Um, and just really just a thing, a little, not even a quote, oh, a little advice that I got from the internet was if we have a problem and we write it down and we don't, or okay, let me rephrase that. If we have a problem and we're stuck on how to fix it, how to get rid of it, how to get it right, writing it down is already 50% of what you're it's already 50% of the solution. So get to writing, and slowly and surely, like Noah said, give it a week or 2 weeks. Do things that are good for your body, mentally, physically, emotionally, and you'll see how much life improves for you. A month or so.
Guys, that's all we have for you guys today on episode 5 of Sana Sana Colita de Rana. But overall, like I said, learn to detach because it's going to make you feel 10 times better. My name is Noah Valenzuela. I'm the Tarot Cowboy.
I'm just Juan.
And that was episode 5 of Sana Sana Colita de Rana. You guys have a wonderful, beautiful day.